Okay. Go.
Hand me my screen box.
Now go free.
The City of Wyandotte versus Richard Castillo Jr. 231229. Okay, and counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. William Amadeo, P76194 for Mr. Castillo. Rich, please state your name so Justice DiSanto knows too. Richard Castillo.
All right, thank you. And so today is the date scheduled for sentencing. This matter, counsel, did you have an opportunity to review the report and recommendation with your client? Because this is there's possession of controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, driver license suspended was dismissed, the texting and no proof, it appears, had already defaulted, so those weren't on the docket.
I did review no additions, deletions, or corrections, and Rich and I did review it together, Judge.
Okay,
I'll allocate when appropriate.
okay, you may proceed, counsel.
I understand why the recommendation is what it is, Your Honor, and I don't have a problem with that. I did consider the delayed. I do know that Commissioner Schultz says no to that. That was our original agreement. I understand you're not bound by that agreement. I've done a lot to try to help Rich. He's doing well. He's not using it all. He took care of all his warrants. He's working full-time supporting his children. With those factors, I should consider my request. And if not, Judge, I have no problem with the agreement, the recommendation otherwise.
Okay, so here's the concern. I'm trying to recall. Were you in school in Defiance, or did you just live there in Ohio?
I just lived there. That's where I'm from.
Okay. So how long have you been in Michigan?
About a year and a half.
Okay. And did you move from Defiance to Michigan?
No, I lived in Toledo for a long time.
Okay.
Toledo, Ohio.
All right. Some of the concerns that I have is, I mean, it was noted in the pre-sentence report that when asked about criminal history, your client didn't give any information regarding the Ohio matters. Zero.
Right, and we did discuss that. Was anything from juvenile? Because he didn't remember certain things. I don't think there was any intent to this fraud.
Well, that was from 04. So that one's from 04.
Right.
08. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the same date. Felony charges: carrying a concealed weapon, possession of controlled substance, driving under the influence, underage consumption. He was on 5 years probation. I don't think that's something that somebody forgets.
Right, I agree with that, Judge.
And then March 31st of 08, there were 2 more. Failure to comply with police officer, criminal trespass. Again, 5 years probation. So I'm presuming that all of those matters were on probation at the same time.
Would that be accurate?
Yeah.
And then there is a 2009 of disorderly conduct. January 2009 disorderly conduct. I don't know if that violated his probation. I don't know. And then we have November or December of this year, indecent exposure out of Novi.
Right.
So there wasn't, and you're currently on probation for that matter.
Yes. He got sentenced probation a few weeks ago on that matter. There was a 15-year gap between his criminal activity. Obviously, he's made some missteps this year, but for a long time, Judge, there was nothing there, and I'm trying to help rebuild.
You know, I understand, but I have some concerns that your client didn't disclose anything from Ohio, and it's significant. It isn't as though it's one like minor in possession when he was in college or something of that nature where, oh yeah, I forgot about that, right? I mean, I don't know how anybody would forget about police contact, but in any event, and people do. But these are significant convictions and they're felonies, and he skirted over the entire issue, the entire thing.
I didn't try to do that. I really apologize.
Well, sir, when you're asked about your criminal convictions,
it was just like a piece of paper, and I just wrote down the recent things that I did, and like I said, I honestly.
Did it say recent or did it say criminal conviction?
It said criminal, and.
So that's.
I'm
any of
sorry
that.
about that. Yeah, I wasn't trying to hide anything. I'm really sorry about that. I do apologize for that.
Your Honor, I'll jump on the sword here and say, I didn't really think much of it. It was over 10 years, so that's my fault. Before he went in to do this, I did say, hey, anything in the last 10 years. I didn't know what happened in Ohio, but I didn't assume there was anything from that long ago. So I'll take some responsibility on that. With that being said, I don't think there was any intent to conceal anything. I do apologize if it came off that way. But from 2009 to 2024, 2023, I should say, when he called me up, I think he was doing pretty good. And I think the alcohol really threw him for a loop. I think he does have a problem he needs to address. But I do think he really had a good gap there, and I think he could be a productive member of society.
I know, I see that, you know, the plea was 25.136B, if eligible. And I know I was very clear saying if eligible.
Correct.
Based upon the prior convictions, I don't find that your client's eligible. Sir, if you're tested right now, what's in your system?
Nothing.
What is your current, what city do you currently live in?
Livonia.
And so what brought you down to Wyandotte that day on June 1st of 23?
I lived here for a little bit. I had a job over here when I first moved here, working for Planet Fitness. So I lived with a friend in Southgate, and I was just around the area a lot during that time.
Okay, so the court does find that after hearing from counsel, hearing from Mr. Castillo, reviewing the report, the recommendation, the prior criminal history, the police report, the court does find that there's reasonable grounds to depart from MCL 769.5. The court also finds that the recommendation is appropriate. I'm going to order 24 months probation. You're eligible for early discharge. I'll go over that in just a few moments. You're not to violate any criminal law of any unit of government. You're not to leave the state without the consent of the court. You are to report truthfully to your probation officer as often as your probation officer may require, in person, writing, or virtually. You have to notify your probation officer immediately of any change in address or employment status. You're not to use any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed to be subjected to random testing. The rehabilitative goal for that condition so the court can monitor your progress in maintaining abstinence and sobriety. The court is going to order 45 days jail. I'm going to suspend that jail. If there's a violation, sir, you'll be serving that 45 days. Outpatient substance use counseling, the rehabilitative goal for that condition is so that you can have assistance in providing coping mechanisms to maintain sobriety and hopefully prevent relapse. Okay. You are to participate in the fan meeting once per month. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is to provide a support system to allow you additional recovery resources and support in maintaining your sobriety. There are meetings, there's chapters throughout the state. There's one in Western Wayne, there's an Oakland County one, there's downriver, I mean, there's many. So it's, the court's going to also order 10 days on the court workforce. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is to help you further develop life skills and give back to the community. The court's going to also order you to participate in the Better Drivers class. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is to increase your knowledge about traffic laws and safety practices. And help obtaining a license. Why are you suspended, sir? Or why do you not have a valid driver's license?
Just with the Michigan things that I was dealing with, they blocked it.
The Michigan things. What Michigan things?
Michigan offenses that I had.
Indecent exposure and the case to your court judge. That blocked his Ohio license.
And indecent exposure blocked your license? I've never heard of that.
So my Ohio license I had, and I needed my ID for a job, and so I just signed off on it because I needed a picture ID for work. I just have to.
None of that's making sense.
I don't know a lot about Ohio license, but I do know when I have a Lenaway case, when they get like an impaired in Lenaway, sometimes they get their license suspended in Ohio.
Right, now that I understand. But so, I mean, was your license valid in Ohio?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
So you had a felony possession of controlled substance, a minor driving under the influence of drugs, underage consumption, and you're telling this court that your license was valid?
In 2009.
Well, was it suspended at some point or revoked?
Yeah, I think back then, yeah.
Okay.
I got it again when I-
All right, and so then you ended up getting a valid license.
Yes,
And so you had a valid license when you moved from Ohio to Michigan.
yes.
So it doesn't make sense as to why Michigan would not have provided you a valid license.
They're connected, so.
I know that, that's what, if Ohio, if you're telling this court you had a valid license in Ohio,
Yeah. I just tried to get a reprint and they said that I was blocked in Michigan, so that I couldn't get a reprint of my license. So, and I needed.
I've never heard of you were blocked in Michigan, I have not heard of that, I'm not saying it's not a thing, but I've not heard of that.
They said I had blocks.
Secretary of State said that.
Yeah,
Okay, so just so we're making sure we're on the same page with the judge, you had a valid license in Ohio, correct? And then you picked up charges in Michigan?
Yes.
And when you tried to transfer your license from Ohio to Michigan, they said there was a block on it?
I didn't try to transfer, I lost my license and I tried to get a reprint. They wouldn't let me reprint my license.
Okay.
In Ohio.
I'm not familiar with the Ohio licensing issue, Judge, but I do know he had a valid license initially in Ohio.
Right, so my thing is, if you had a valid license in Ohio, sir, and you're relocating to Michigan, you went to the Secretary of State to get a license?
No, I never actually went, because
Well, you should do that, because I don't know how you're getting around anywhere. How'd you get here to court?
I just Uber everywhere.
He's been Ubering everywhere.
Okay, well, $800 a week is what you earn. I'm sure Uber is hitting into a lot of that.
It is.
So go to the Secretary of State. Are you off right now? You're off today, right?
No, I have to go to work at 12.
Okay, well, I think that your license is pretty important, so I would go between now and work, and I'd go to the Secretary of State if they're taking walk-ins. Otherwise, make an appointment for first thing in the morning, because you need your license to get back and forth. And you're telling this court you did not drive here.
Yes, I did.
All right, so another condition I'm going to indicate is obtain a valid driver's license, right? Because it's only helpful to you so that you can get around and not create a bigger hole in your wallet. Any questions on the terms and conditions?
Only question I have, Your Honor, is do you want to report to probation today, or will they be calling him to self-reporting?
You're going to report today, and they will either go over your instructions or they will give you a date to come back. Okay.
Nothing further from us.
All right. As to the fines and costs, the court's going to order a $400 fine, $100 screening assessment fee, supervision oversight fee of $1,200. That's $600. I'm sorry, $50 a month at 24 months. And since you're eligible for early discharge, some of that money may not be due. You may not have to pay $600. Okay. Cost of prosecution $300. Crime victim assessment fee of $75. Justice system assessment fee of $50. Workforce $400. That's 4 days. I'm sorry, $40 a day at 10 days. $2,525. You posted a $500 bond. Do you have any other money to pay today, sir?
I don't.
Okay. So we'll apply your bond. And then what would your proposed payment plan be on your balance of $2,025?
If I could spread it out over the course of my probation, that would.
Okay, so how much can you pay per month and what date of the month works best for you?
And I'll waive the rest of my fees, just pay the court, so that helps at all.
Each month, it's $2,500 over 2 years.
Well, okay, so keep in mind, sir, so now your balance is down to $2,025 because we applied your $500 bond. And we're going to back out $600 of that because I'm presuming based upon what your attorneys indicated that you were going to be a model probationer and you're going to be discharging early. So now you're down to $1,425.
150 a month.
Okay, let's do $100 a month. If you can pay more, you can pay more. There's not a prepayment penalty. Okay, and so we can begin that. You said the 15th of each month?
Yeah.
All right, so May 15th will be your first payment of $100.
Okay, Judge.
Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat over probation, please. All right, we're going to go off the record. All right, and so we are on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Jeffrey Goins II, 24199A.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland appearing on behalf of Mr. Goins. Mr. Goins, would you please state your name for the record?
Jeffrey Goins II.
All right, and good morning. And today is the date scheduled for a bond violation hearing as well as sentencing on your client's plea to possession of drug paraphernalia. Let's handle the bond violation first. Mr. Goins on March 27th was ordered to participate in random testing. His first test, which was one day after his arraignment, was positive for cocaine. His second test on April 4th was also positive for cocaine. His third test on April 15th, we will never know what happened because the package was damaged in transit to the lab and was unable to be tested. And then he just tested again on Friday, and we are still awaiting those results. So as to the bond violation, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, Mr. Goins is prepared to enter a guilty plea to the bond violation.
All right, please raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. And sir, you heard the allegations, correct?
Yes.
And as those allegations, how do you plead?
Plead guilty.
And you understand your rights? And you've gone over those rights with your attorney, correct?
Yes.
And you understand by entering into a plea to your bond violation that you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your right to a contested hearing.
Yes.
And you also understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea.
Yes.
You understand this court can revoke your bond, the court could sentence you to some jail time, the court could give you a fine, the court could do a multitude of options, right? But those are some of the ones.
Yes.
And knowing all that, you want to continue with your plea.
Yes.
Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea today?
No, Judge.
All right, and counsel, if you can please run to your client.
Sure. Mr. Goins, is it true that you're currently on bond through Wyandotte District Court?
Yes.
Did you in fact test positive for cocaine while on bond?
Yes.
And you understand that that's a violation of your bond?
I do.
Satisfied, Judge.
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the bond violation. And, sir, so we don't have any surprises. When we receive your results back from April 25th test, which was last Thursday, what are we going to find in there?
Nothing.
Not any cocaine?
Nothing. No,
Zero.
I swear, nothing.
So tell me why this court ordered you to abstain from using any alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed, and yet you tested positive at least twice for cocaine.
At the beginning of it was kind of difficult to transition from going into being sober, but I've since then I have made a choice, and I have the support now of my family to help me through this too. And I'm trying to better myself, and it was just a stupid decision in a low place. And since then, you know, like I said, I'm doing the best I can to be straight edge and make better choices to better myself and make my life better for the life I want. You know, I have a job now. I've been working and stuff and trying to keep my head on straight.
All right, and counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just simply ask for leniency on behalf of my client. He's extremely apologetic moving forward. He knows that he can't beat these tests. He's either going to have to remain clean, or there's going to be ramifications. I know we have his sentencing up today as well, but I would just ask for leniency on his behalf.
So, sir, you are 27, correct?
Yes.
And where did you attend high school?
Truman High School in Taylor.
Okay. And so why didn't you complete high school?
Realistically, I was overwhelmed with everything, and I actually at that time started hanging out with my cousins who were skippers, and that kind of gave me the
kind of the wrong, I don't want to say wrong people hang out, but I started to take after them and started skipping school. And then I got to the point where I didn't feel like as I needed to go.
Do you still have that opinion now?
No, I've always wanted to go back and get my GED. I'm not proud that I wasted all the time my mom has put into me and over the 10 years that she got me through everything else. And I've always wanted to get back with my GED just to really make my mom proud and do it for myself as well.
Okay, so sir, I see that you've had some mental health issues in the past. Counsel is, I don't know if you had a conversation, is your client interested in the treatment court that we have here at the court?
I have not discussed that with him.
Do you want me to see if Courtney is available to chat with him so he can see what that's about? Or not anything at all? I'm not interested at all.
That's up to Mr. Goins.
Would you like to get information about it so that you can decide if that's something that you'd like to
I'll take
participate
some
in?
information for it, sure, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so if you want to have a seat, our coordinator is here, and so then she can discuss with you what our treatment court is, and what assistance you would have, the different resources and supports that you would have.
Okay.
Okay, and then we can recall this matter.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
or Judge, do you want to, we could adjourn sentencing to tomorrow if you want. I'll be down there.
We can, but if he's not interested, then we can continue with that today. If he's interested, then we can.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. So just have a seat in the lobby, sir, and then Courtney will be with you shortly, okay?
Is this something that, like when I went to probation, to get like the overview of it, Natalie, I believe her name is, she did mention something, I think, like that. Is that everything that she probably would have went over with me, what it is?
Maybe not everything, no. So Courtney can just explain to you what it would entail, what it is, how it would benefit you, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, so just have a seat for just a few moments and she'll be with you shortly, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. In the matter of James Bruner, 231994.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland appearing on behalf of Mr. Bruner. Mr. Bruner, would you please state your full name for the record?
James Bruner.
All right, and so Mr. Bruner, good morning. You are currently on probation with this court for disorderly conduct.
Correct.
It's alleged that you tested positive for cocaine on March 3rd and alcohol, as well as alcohol on April 10th and alcohol again on April 15th. And so these would be technical violations 1 through 3. And counsel, what's happening today?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time we are prepared to enter a guilty plea to the allegations.
Please raise your right hand, sir.
That's, no, to March 3rd. I'm not pleading guilty to March 3rd, but the other two, yes. March 3rd, there's no way. And what had happened is I was out on.
Hold on.
Yeah, we're pleading guilty, Judge, to everything but the cocaine use.
Well, the whole March 3rd incident.
Okay, so you're pleading guilty to
The 10th and the
April 10th and April 15th.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're pleading not guilty to March 3rd.
Correct.
Well, just the cocaine.
No, I wasn't drinking on that either.
Are we gonna do that again?
I promise you,
You said that last time too, sir.
I did not. That
Well,
was my
Judge, last time there's this is his first violation, first, second, third.
Well, sorry, let me clarify. The tether violation, he had a tether violation hearing back in October and November, back in November.
Okay.
So it was an alcohol violation. So.
Was a violation?
It was an alcohol tether violation. There was a hearing held and he was found guilty and he stated the same thing. He hadn't used anything and I think he was claiming something spilled or something. Okay, so you're pleading guilty to April 10th and April 15th,
Yes,
not guilty to March 3rd.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's proceed on the April 10th and April 15th and I'll decide what we're doing with the March 3rd in just a moment. Please raise your right hand. you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you heard the allegations, sir,
Yes, ma'am.
as to April 10th and April 15th.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand specifically in this matter that there's a recommendation for you to continue and complete all terms of probation,
Yes.
pay a $50 probation violation fee, 15 days jail, and after you've completed your jail term, 30 days on the alcohol tether, excuse me, increased testing. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you also understand this court can adopt that recommendation whole and part, deviate from that in any way. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
And knowing all that, do you want to continue with your plea?
Yes, ma'am. There's no other way.
So counsel, if you can please barter your client.
Sure. Mr. Bruner, is it true that you're currently on probation out of the Wyandotte District Court? Mr. Bruner?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
As a term and condition of probation, you to not test positive for any drugs or alcohol that aren't prescribed.
Yes, sir.
Did you in fact test positive for alcohol on April 10th of this year?
Yes, sir.
Did you also test positive for alcohol on April 15th of this year?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that those are both direct violations of the terms and conditions of your probation?
Yes, sir, I do.
Satisfied, Judge.
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the probation violation based upon that plea of guilty, indicate by technical violations 1 and 2, and as to the recommendations.
Yes, Your Honor. I would simply just be asking for leniency on behalf of my client. He's extremely apologetic for his actions. These are his first violations. I would just ask that any sort of jail time be suspended. And I would like you to know that he has completed a substance abuse counseling. He's been enrolled in grief counseling and anger management. He has been doing everything that has been asked of him. He has taken probation very seriously. So taking that into account, Your Honor, I would be asking for leniency on Mr. Bruner's behalf.
And so, Mr. Bruner, what was it you were doing that you decided it would be a good idea?
Just getting so much done around my house, and I just, first off, I want to thank you for realizing that something that I did. I sat here during sentencing and I was like, I can't believe she's throwing the book at me like this, and whatever. And that counseling, I didn't know that I needed that. So thank you for having that foreshadowing to know that that's something I really needed. I quit feeling sorry for myself. I quit feeling guilty for being the surviving parent. I realized in anger management, grief counseling, substance abuse, I did it all with the same lady, Jennifer. Oh gosh, she's on your recommended list. She's very awesome. But she was like, you need to just be you again. You need to do the things that you enjoy to get, and I dug myself out of that hole, and now I'm trying to move mountains. I'm getting my place ready. I want to rent both units out. I want to move not just out of Wyandotte, but out of state. And part of the healing process is, for me, is like, I moved here for my wife and I to build a home. I'm stuck in a house that I don't want to be in. And I am in a better place now. I'm in a new relationship. She no longer lives upstairs. She lives with me and my kids now. We are 100% committed to being a good family, being a good provider for these kids. I'm coaching in Wyandotte baseball again now for the 3rd year in a row, now 2 teams, my son and my daughter. So not only am I trying to be a part of this community, but I give back to the community as well. And I don't know if you've ever had to coach 5, 6, 7-year-olds, but it's not the easiest job, but it is so rewarding and so fulfilling.
I've coached that age. I've coached middle school, high school girls. Middle school girls. So no.
And it's like one of the girls told me the other day, I was her head coach last year, but I'm just assisting this year. She's like, all the name tags you gave me, I have in a scrapbook and all that stuff. Man, they're really touching shit. So, I mean, I have a lot of kids that look up to me. I'm very important role model to them. And, I'm so close to today is 6 months probation. And I could have been off today, but I chose to do something stupid. And Like I
So,
said,
what were you doing that day so that you decided you were going to consume alcohol?
I did so much yard work, all the things I've been putting off. I cleaned my smoker that my neighbors threw out 2 years ago that I've just been depriving myself of doing things because I just felt so guilty about it. But now it's like the more I do, the better I feel. The better I feel, the more I do. I'm glad to be in. My dad's seen the change, my in-laws, my brother, my neighbors, my girlfriend, wholehearted. I've done a total 180. And that's because I started like living my life again. Instead of surviving the day, I lived the day. Because at the end of the day, I need to be my best. And I can't be the best for my kids. I can't be the best for her.
And I hear all that. So you're telling me because you were getting a lot of work done, you decided you were going to reward yourself with some drinks?
Plus, she just had a miscarriage. It was really hard. We were trying to start our part of the family now, bring another life in. And they say that's the best way to get over old life is to bring a new life. She's never had a child. She deserves that opportunity. And now 3 times we failed on that opportunity. And it's just, man, it hurts.
Well, maybe it's not failing, right? Maybe it's just not the right time.
Right, and it's just, man, it gets to you, man. I've gone through the most gut-wrenching experience in my life when I lost the woman I was married to. And now to try to have a kid and try to reestablish a family, it was just a gut-wrenching moment. And I've been off alcohol for so long. It's like, it's not that I needed it, it's just I just wanted to. You know, it's not something I need, but man, every now and again, it's just like a beer or something. It just sounds, man, I had gone so long. I've been doing so well. And man,
So twice you did that?
I'm kicking, it was like in that same week, right? Because it was those 5 days, right? And so been kicking myself in the butt for I was doing so well. And today I could be sitting up here for early release, you know, and I should be. But, you know, and if you can reconsider, awesome. If not, I totally understand.
I can reconsider what? What can I reconsider?
Huh?
What can I reconsider?
Oh, just like the 6-month thing, but I screwed that up.
I can't reconsider that.
Okay.
The law says you can't have any violations within 3 months of your request for early discharge.
Within 3, well, this has been 6 months, so.
Within 3, sir, you have a violation in April,
Right.
right? So now you can't request an early discharge now until July.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're 3 months. I'm sorry. I got you. And like I said, I've been trying to move out to Nevada. I've got everything set up. I've been looking for homes out there. You know, my dad is one of my biggest supporters. He's in Ohio. I can't even go visit him without making phone calls or, you know, things like that.
What does that mean?
Well, because I want to go visit him, take him, my grandkids to see him. You know, it shouldn't be a one-way street for him. But
Right, so-
it has to be.
Well, okay, so what do you mean you have to make phone calls?
To the court, just to be able to go. I have to have permission to leave the state.
You do. So
Right.
if you want to go see your dad this weekend, all you do is you communicate with your probation officer.
I didn't think it was that. I don't know. I just.
That's how that works. So now you have violations. So now that might be a little bit of a different story.
I understand.
So let's talk about this March 3rd incident, counsel. Your client pled not guilty, and then he started to say he wanted to say what happened. Do you want him to say anything about that or no?
I mean, I would advise him not to. If he pled not guilty, there shouldn't be anything to say. If you weren't using that day.
No, sir.
Were you taking any prescription medication?
No, I do take lots of vitamins and supplement this, that, or whatever. I was just recently on amoxicillin for strep throat, but that shouldn't
That
have
doesn't
anything.
test positive.
Right, okay. So no, I wasn't at all. Not other than like no, I did like like Tylenol, the crew, but nothing, just that.
All right. So we're going to set that one out for a hearing. Are you contesting the results or you want the lab to be present?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no way. I even tried to get back from my trip early, so
What trip?
I was gone.
Where were you?
Judge, I don't think a hearing is necessary. He pled guilty to 2 out of the 3. I mean, it's.
I know, but what do we do?
He's
What do we
violating.
do with this third? What do we do with this third one? It's just kind of hanging out there.
What do you mean the third one? The cocaine use?
Yes, cocaine and alcohol. So it's an alleged violation. So then there'd only be 2 matters that we've resolved instead of 3.
Sure. Go ahead and set it for hearing.
I'm not saying it's gonna be anything right now, I'm just saying that we'll have
Well,
to
right, I
resolve
mean,
it.
the testing people I'm sure aren't even available today.
Well, I'm even suggesting maybe we set it out for a month or so or something, but, not anything, that's a quick turnaround. So you were out of state, sir?
Yeah, I left the country. I was told by my probation officer that I was allowed to attend my cruise. My stipulations were to test the day I left and to test in Miami the day I got back. I was unable to test in Miami when I got back because before we left the cruise, my ID, my credit cards, my birth certificate were either stolen or lost. I actually, to get on the cruise was a big pain because they actually made me go back to Miami-Dade, file a police report, get a case number. So when I got back to Miami, I had no identification, so I couldn't go to an on-site or anywhere without ID because I couldn't prove my identity.
So how'd you get back in the country without identity?
Because they let me on the ship because my mother-in-law went back home. She got a picture of my passport. Because I had a photocopy of my birth certificate, she got that, photocopy of my license, but they said they would accept that only if I went to Miami-Dade and filed a police report and came back with the case number. So it was hours and hours of hard work just to be able to get there.
And so when were you on your cruise?
From, what is it, the 26th to the 1st?
March 26th?
February 26th to March 1st. So we were actually
March 1st, and then it's alleged you tested positive on March 3rd.
Which is, yeah, we even cut our trip short 2 days just so I could get back in time because I knew I had nothing to hide. So I even have a receipt on my credit card saying that I got refunded because we canceled the hotel because I didn't want to like make up excuses or try to find a way to like, no, look, I tried to comply as much as possible, but without identification, there was absolutely no way we could do it, or I would have done it the minute I stepped off in Miami.
Okay.
I had nothing to hide. I tried to get back as soon. I almost got back Saturday night, but I just couldn't. So I went first thing March 3rd, Sunday morning. I just missed the cutoff Saturday night.
Okay. So as to these two violations, so I'll set the March 3rd violation for hearing June 4th at 11 a.m. As to the current violation, the current violations, the two alcohol violations of April 10th and April 15th, the court finds the recommendation is appropriate. The court's going to order probation to continue complete all terms of probation. $50 probation violation fee, 15 days jail, 30 days on the alcohol tether upon your release from jail, and increased testing. All right, so you're going to go with the officers today, sir.
Is there any way I could,
upon your release?
is there any way I can have a couple of days to make sure that things are in order for my children? Would you at least do that?
You didn't know that, you didn't get that into the setup before today?
No, I did. I mean, I got plenty of things to do. Like I said, I got to set them up for baseball, make sure she has the schedule, make sure they have the things, because there are things they need.
Right, you didn't do that all before you came into court today?
Not everything. I honestly didn't think that you would, I just didn't know.
Well, given that there's two violations and that you had an alcohol tether violation while on bond, and there was alcohol that played a big role in the charges, and I mean,
But that wasn't my problem. My problem was myself, and I figured.
Sir, I understand that, but it was also exacerbated by the alcohol. And you're on probation where you cannot consume or possess any alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed. So this court finds the recommendation is appropriate for the two violations. So that's what this court's ordering.
Right. I don't think I can do that.
No. Okay. So you're going to go with the officer?
Okay.
And then upon your release, sir, 30 days on the alcohol tether, you'll have increased testing.
Okay. Can I give stuff to her real quick?
What stuff do you have to give to her? The court officer will give it to her.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No, because I'm gonna have to be able to call her when I'm out. anything I can do to make you reconsider the jail?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. All right, we are going on, we're recalling the matter of Jeffrey Goins, 24199A.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Goins.
Mr. Goins, your name again, please.
Jeffrey, I'm going to second.
All right, you spoke to to Courtney, and you are interested in the program.
Yes.
Okay, so council, what we're going to do is we're going to adjourn this for 2 weeks so that he can have his screenings for eligibility completed. And so we can put this, let's do 14th at 9:15 a.m. is when we'll adjourn both the bond violation and your sentencing.
Okay.
Sir, continue with not using. All right,
Absolutely.
I will not hesitate to have you serve some days in jail before you start the program to help you maintain your sobriety.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
All right, so bonding conditions are continued, and you're sure nothing's coming back in your system from your test last week?
Yes.
Okay, continue that.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, all right. Just make sure that you stay in communication with Courtney and whatnot. I think she made sure she had all of your information, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
give her my information now to update it. So.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan, Alyssa Bennett, 232203.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Ms. Bennett. Ms. Bennett, would you please state your name for the record?
Alyssa Bennett.
All right, good morning. And today is the date scheduled for a probation violation. You are currently on probation for operating or visibly impaired by alcohol. The court sentenced you in this matter on January 9th. And one of your conditions was to participate in random testing. And it's alleged on March 14th, March 27th, April 4th, and April 15th that you failed to appear for testing. And counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak to Ms. Bennett regarding the allegations for failing to appear for drug testing on March 14th, March 27th, April 4th, and April 15th. At this time, we are prepared to enter a guilty plea to those allegations.
All right, please raise your right hand.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and so ma'am, you heard the allegations that were placed on the record, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
As those allegations, how do you plead? And you've gone over your advice of rights for probation violation purposes with your attorney, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand all of those rights?
Yes.
You also understand by entering into a plea that you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your right to a contested hearing.
Yes.
And knowing all that, and you also understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea.
Yes.
And you understand the recommendation here is for you to continue to complete all terms of probation, $50 probation violation fee, 30 days on the alcohol tether, and 10 days jail.
Yes.
Knowing all that, do you want to continue with your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody promise you anything, threaten you, or coerce you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
No.
All right, counsel, if you can please run to your client.
Ms. Bennett, are you currently on probation through the Wyandotte District Court?
Yes.
As a term and condition of your probation, are you to drug test whenever they request you to?
Yes.
Did you fail the drug test on March 14th, March 27th, April 4th, and April 15th of this year?
Yes.
And you understand that that's a direct violation of your probation?
Yes.
Okay. Satisfied, Judge?
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the probation violations. Technical violations 1 through 4 will enter. And counsel?
Yes, Judge.
As to the probation.
Your Honor, I'd just be asking for leniency on behalf of Ms. Bennett. She has had a slow start to her probation, as you can see, but she's gotten her life back on track. She just moved into a more permanent home. She is gainfully employed full-time. Any sort of jail time I would be requesting suspended at this time and set for a jail review.
All right. And so, ma'am, why did you miss those tests?
The past like month and a half, I've moved like 3 different times. I've just started a new job that I've been working like every day. I didn't do it purposely. I don't really have an excuse of why I didn't go.
I mean, you've been on probation for now 3 months.
Yeah.
Right, February, March, April, almost 4, right?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you should be in the habit of calling in the morning to see if your color's called, right?
Yes.
And so you're stating that you've moved 3 times the last month.
Yes.
And so when did you first move?
I feel like it's been a little bit longer than a month, like maybe a month and a half or 2 months, but I got kicked out of my dad's house, moved in with my boyfriend. We were staying at his mother's house in Southgate. Then we just recently moved to his dad's house in Wyandotte because it was like more stable there and they have like, it was just a better place for us to live.
Okay. And so did you provide Ms. Shine with your new address?
Yes, every time.
Okay, so you remembered you had to do that.
Well, I mentioned it to her when I would come to my meetings.
Okay. And so where is it that you're working?
I work at the Glam Queen Boutique in Southgate.
The what?
The Glam Queen Boutique in Southgate.
Okay.
It's like a nail salon. They do like Botox and stuff there also.
And how long have you worked there?
A little over a month and a half.
Okay. And so what are the hours there?
I just go in every day. I usually go in like 11, and sometimes I leave earlier, and sometimes I'm there till like 8 o'clock. I just help clean, and the girl that I like help is opening the salon next door, which is gonna be a nail salon, so I help her set everything up there too.
Okay. So there's no reason you can't go for your testing in the morning before you start work. And yet you didn't go.
It's hard for me to get like rides also because I don't have a car. And a lot of the time my boyfriend works in the morning, but I can try and see if his parents or somebody could take me earlier in the morning before they go to work.
What time does he start work?
About 9.
Okay, so he doesn't start till 9. Testing opens at 6 a.m.
Okay.
You're saying okay, like you didn't even know that.
Well, I didn't know what time it started in the morning.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never
your
gone-
responsibility to find that out.
Okay.
It's your responsibility to find that out.
Okay.
You registered for testing, correct?
Yes.
And you were going before, correct?
Yes.
So how did you know what times to go before?
I just went in the evening time.
Or how did you know what hours they were open in the evening?
Because they told me.
Okay, so did you contact them to ask, or when you were there in the evening, did you look to see what their hours are?
No.
Did you Google them up?
No.
No. So it's 100% on you
Yes.
for not knowing that. If you don't know something, how do you get the information?
Gotta ask.
Right. Did you ask anybody?
No.
Did you even email in or even ask Miss Shine? She could have given you that answer like that.
No, every time I ever call or email, I never get anything back.
Well, I wouldn't say never.
Well,
I
I
would-
like once, but
I would agree that probably it may take a little bit of a response time, right? Because she was by herself for a little bit. We had some
Yeah.
unexpected absence from somebody, and so she was by herself for a little bit. But you had your meetings with her,
yeah,
right? Did you ask her at that time?
no.
No. If you were to test today, ma'am, what's in your system?
Nothing.
When's the last time you used anything?
I don't know. Since before I got on my probation. The only thing that might be my Adderall, but I have a prescription for that, which she has in my file.
So why should I not send you to jail for 10 days? Because this court, and you're aware that a missed test is like a positive test. So that would be 4 positive tests because you didn't go. Why should I not adopt the recommendation and not send you to jail?
Because I went last week And I was, like I said, I wasn't purposely trying to not go. And I've like been calling every single day since I went last week. My cousin has been taking me with her to go, because she has the same color as me.
And who's your
I have
cousin?
a job. Well, it's not my biological cousin, it's just like a family friend that like I consider close to me.
Okay, who's that?
Ashley.
Is your information here or somewhere else?
Yeah, she's on probation here, and she calls every morning. She'll call me in the morning to tell me if I got called or not. She'll take me with her.
Okay, that's very good that somebody else is being responsible for you. That's very nice.
Well, I will call too, but she'll take me with her because I don't have a reliable transportation to go. And
Okay,
she
what's
said
her
she'll
last
take me
name?
anytime, Kate.
Okay. All right, here's what I'm going to do. The court's going to order the following. You're to continue and complete all terms of probation. $50 probation violation fee. The court's going to order 10 days jail and we're going to suspend the jail. The court's going to schedule this for a review hearing on July 23rd. And the court's going to order 30 days on the alcohol tether. That you have to have today. Do you have a ride there today?
Yes, I got around you.
Let me be very clear, ma'am. You are responsible for you. So if you're here again for a violation, I don't want to hear, well, Ashley didn't call and tell me, Ashley didn't, right? You're responsible for yourself.
Yes.
I understand circumstances happen. I understand that. But 4 tests within a month, you didn't test at all. Any other violation, ma'am, you will be in jail. Mandatory incarceration for any violation moving forward, plus the 10 days from this one that this court has suspended. So whether or not you serve time in the Wayne County Jail, all in your hands. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Please have a seat over in probation. Somebody will be with you shortly, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. He needs an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Joke. Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of this. What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Mystery? We're going to start bringing people in person. People are going to learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it?
No.
Okay.
I have no patience for that. And trust me, out of the day, I'm the one that needs the drink.